What is going on, 5'9" gamers? It's your boy Minato here, and I'm bringing you back with another Dokkan video. So, flying solo today, but it's all good. We want to go ahead and cover this information for you. So there's a lot of EZAs, a lot of awakenings for the EZAs for the Dragon Ball Heroes units. We got some awakenings like STR Super Saiyan 2 Trunks. It's a very insane data download, and I'm going to cover all these units right here for you guys. So let's just hop right into it. So that TEQ Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta, actually let me go ahead and bring them up here. This TEQ Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta, I believe. You know, if you guys don't remember, it's the Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta GT and the physical one. These two guys are getting awakenings finally, so that's pretty exciting for sure. These two guys finally getting awakenings is very nice. So let's hop right into it. His leader skill is Super Saiyan 3 category, key 3 and then 120% stats, or tech types, you know, 90% doesn't really matter. He does supreme damage. He raises his attack by 50% and defense by 30% for 6 turns. So again, that's a very solid boost for sure. You know, obviously you would probably prefer to have the 50% defense, but still 30% defense and 50% attack right there is definitely a nice buff on this just for super attack. His passive skill, he gets 120% attack and defense at the start of turn. He gets 60% attack and 30% defense for 6 turns after he receives an attack. He gets an additional attack plus 10% up to 60%, and then defense and chance to perform a crit plus 5%, which goes up to 30% for every single attack he receives. So essentially he just wants to kind of take attacks, obviously, to build up that additional passive. Those are all multiplicative effects, and on top of that he does, you know, get the additional 30% defense and 60% attack just in general when he receives an attack. So once he gets like I think like 2-3 attacks off, this guy could start being very strong offensively and defensively. I believe he has I believe he has shattering the limit as well. So I mean, yeah, this Vegeta is looking pretty solid. Again, if you look at his link set, it basically stays the same again. You know, again, I don't believe he gains over in a flash, unfortunately, but his link set's pretty solid. The only thing I wish is that he gave key to himself, because again, since he doesn't have over in a flash, he doesn't really work the best with the other heroes unit, with the other Super Saiyan 3 units to be specific. But again, he does definitely seem like a very strong unit, that's for sure. So next we move on to this physical Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta. His awakening right here is finally coming to the game again. So he gives Super Saiyan 3 120% or physical types 90%, basically the same thing as the Tech 1 except it's physical. He does the same super attack effect, and for the first kind of type of passive, he's the same. So he gets 120% attack and defense. He gets 10% attack up to 60%, and then 5% defense and chance to perform crit plus up to 30% for each attack he receives. So again, it'll take him again 6 attacks to really build up that full passive, which, you know, definitely could take some time. But honestly, it's a lot better than, you know, if he had to attack himself. He has a 30% chance to guard all attacks, which is unfortunate, and he only has a high chance to guard all attacks when HP is 60% or below. Now, that's definitely inconsistent, but you know, the guard is could be very powerful, because when his guard is activated, he does reduce damage received by 40%. So if you're able to get the guard active, you know, he's going to be pretty good. I feel like he's a unit that you probably would use as a like second or third slot, maybe like a floating type unit or so. Because you don't know if his guard is going to activate, and if his guard doesn't activate in the first slot, then he could take a decent amount of damage for sure. But you know, if he's able to get a super attack effect off and everything like that, and he does get the guard off, you know, as a third slot unit, I feel like this guy could be very powerful. Again, unfortunately, he does not have over in a flash, so it's going to hurt him a little bit. But again, these two awakenings look very good. Next we're going to move on to the Super Saiyan 2 Trunks. So yes, finally, if we move on to the Vegeta family team, if you scroll all the way down here, give me 1 second to bring this Trunks up, but this guy right here, he's finally getting his awakening. He's very strong. He's going to be a very good unit, so from what I'm seeing here. So he leads the crossover category actually of 3 key and 120% to stats. So right there, you know, if you don't really have a crossover category leader, this guy will be able to help you, because again, we're getting a lot of crossover category leaders, you know, this celebration. Like we're getting Xenopan, you know, the Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta was last year. I believe, you know, the Robel, actually I'm going to cover it later, but the Robel is also a free unit, not a free unit, a crossover category leader. So there's a lot of them, and he is an all types leader. So for us link levelers, you already know we're going to use him as a link leveling lead. He does supreme damage and raises attack and defense by for 3 turns. But keep in mind, this is a 50% buff as a note, because if you look here, this is 50%, so it's 50% for 3 turns. So he's one of those units, like, you know, the buff Trunks, for example, they have that type of passive. So this is going to be very good for him. He gets 120% attack and defense on super attack. He gets an additional 30% attack and 15% defense and 50% crit chance for each crossover category ally attacking in the same turn. So again, it restricts him a little bit to the crossover category team. I feel like it's kind of similar to God Trunks, where he's going to be good like outside of the crossover team, but he's going to be like really great, like actually good, you know, if you guys know what I mean, when there's a full crossover category rotation. Along with that, he gives all allies key 1 and 20% attack and defense, then crossover category allies key 1 and 15% attack and defense. So in total, to crossover, he does give 2 key and 40% attack and defense. So again, this guy right here is going to be looking pretty good as a support type unit floating on the crossover team. And again, his link set, you know, he actually shares some links with the new God Trunks, like Super Saiyan, Prepare for Battle, I believe Royal Lineage as well. And he'll have Shattering the Limit, I believe, unfortunately. I'm not too sure. I didn't take that deep of a look into him, unfortunately. I should have, but that's my fault. Again, but he'll be a very strong unit in the crossover team. So, you know, if you don't pull a Xenopan for some reason and you want to support for that team, then, you know, this guy right here could be your go-to, especially if you have her. So we now know STR Android 21's Extreme Z area information, or EZA information to be more specific. She's on the crossover team as well. Again, this is a huge just crossover team extravaganza situation going on here, so we'll bring her up right here. Again, we know her stats already are going to be very high: 17,000 attack and almost 10,000 defense. She does immense damage and recovers 12% HP. She gives Android category 160% stats, like we all knew. I mean, that was going to be pretty obvious, I feel like, based off of the other EZAs that we've been getting. She gets key 3 and 120% attack and defense. She gets 21% additional defense when performing a super attack. When HP is 80% or more, she gets an additional attack and defense plus 21%. She lowers the enemy's attack by 21%, attack and defense by 21% for 2 turns, and she transforms when conditions are met. Now, the great thing about her is that they actually updated her transformation condition. I really want to point this out right here. So, it used to be a 30% chance to consume cell when HP is 50% or above, starting from the 4th turn. Now, it's a 40% chance to consume cell from the 4th turn when HP is 40% or above. So they lowered the HP restriction and they made a 10% higher chance to transform. So this basically does confirm that for those units like STR Rose, I mean Ink Goku Black, for example, units that have those terrible transformation conditions, like even the LR fusions, the 3-year fusions, when they EZA, there's a very good chance that they get a much better transformation condition. So that's very exciting for the future of Dokkan. This is a very important thing to note here. Now, of course, she transforms, as we stated. Her transform super attack, she stacks attack, lowers attack and defense. Honestly, I don't really like it that much, unfortunately. I prefer her pre-super attack, her pre-transformed one, where it's 12% HP recovery. That's very good. Since it's turn 4 or beyond, you know, you might not even get it in turn 4 since it's a chance. You're not going to see this in long events, and raising attack is kind of meh to me, honestly. She gets key 3 and 150% attack and defense. She recovers 15% HP at the start of turn. She gets an additional attack and defense plus 21%, disables enemy guards when performing a super attack. And then she gets an additional attack and defense plus 21% when HP is 60% or more when performing a super attack. Now, one thing I noted is that, like, this looked like it was all together because it was all commas. There was no at symbol on there. But it's possible that, like, say the disable enemy guard and attack and defense plus 21% is actually separate and not on super attack. I didn't see the at symbol when I was translating, so it's not 100% sure, but either way, I can confirm that everything else is basically the same. So we are all gaming on that information below there. So yeah, this Android 21 looks very good, and yeah, there's not really much else to say. One second here, actually. Okay, perfect. And now we'll move on to the TEQ Android 16 EZA right there. It just goes weird. It gives super TEQ types key 3 and then 110% attack and defense. It's weird. 110%. We've never really seen that. Like, unless they're unawakened characters. So Move on next. The super attack effect. He greatly raises attack and defense 1 turn and causes supreme damage. So if we look at the TEQ Android 16 right here, he used to greatly raise defense, but now he greatly raises attack and defense. And along with that, there's nothing really additional to his super attack effects. He gets 100% attack and defense at the starter turn, an additional 40% defense up to 160% per Android's category ally in the team. So they just basically up this to 40% again, 160%. That's going to be a lot of defense with his easy A stats, 11k defense. I mean, he's going to be looking pretty good, especially if you have like Android Assault and those type of links active. Ooh boy. He also gets an additional attack plus 60% up to 80% when each time guard is activated, and he has a high chance to guard. High chance to guard definitely does blow. One thing I want to note is that we're not sure if this 16% attack up to 80% is each time guard is activated. I don't know if that's for every single attack or if that's just like he activates guard once during the turn and it builds up over multiple turns. I'm presuming it's going to be for each attack that he receives, but we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, this guy seems pretty good as well. He's not really going to be hitting the hardest for sure, but defensively, even without the guard, I feel like defensively he's going to be very, very strong. We have S tier Paikuhan now, so we're now finally moving on to the Super Dragon Ball Heroes units right here. So if I bring up S tier Paikuhan, actually, yeah, there he is right here. He's basically the same right here. His easy A stats, 16k attack and 10k defense, pretty solid. He stacks attack and defense, causes supreme damage, and greatly lowers attack. He has a very, very nice ability for both Super Battle Road and long events. I like this combination of raising defense and lowering attack. It's good for short events and long events specifically. He gets Key 3, which is good for him, and 120% attack and defense. When he's facing one enemy, he performs an additional attack which has a 50% chance to become a super. When he's facing 2 or more enemies, he performs an additional attack which has a 70% chance of becoming a super attack. And he gets an additional attack and defense plus 60% of target enemies and attack down status. So what I see from this is this guy's going to attack the enemy, he's going to lower their attack, and on the second super attack, he'll get an extra raise right here, and this additional attack and defense plus 60%. Even if he only lowers the attack once and gets a normal, he'll still get this 60% attack and defense. So most of the time in short events, you're going to be able to see that, which is very, very good. He gets triple super, which is nice, getting the multiple stacks. And yeah, overall, this guy looks pretty good, honestly. He's definitely not a bad unit. He's going to work pretty well with the AGL Baby. His issue is links and categories, but I mean, as a unit himself, he's definitely pretty solid. Now we have AGL Towa, so I'm sure most people really, really want to see AGL Towa right here again. Like this AGL Towa, her stats are pretty solid, 12.6k defense. It's definitely a pretty high defensive stat. A 16k attack is not like the greatest, but she's a support type unit, so I don't necessarily like care about that if you guys get where I'm coming from. She does supreme damage and greatly lowers attack and defense, pretty good ability for Super Battle Road. She gets 100% attack and defense at the starter turn. She gets an additional 100% attack and defense at the starter turn when facing a super class enemy, but it's defense 80% when there's an extreme class enemy. I think if there's both a super and extreme class enemy on the field, this does stack on top of each other from what I'm presuming. So again, she's gonna potentially be able to max out at 280% defense start of turn. In Super Battle Road stages, you could definitely go ahead and see that. She gives extreme class allies Key 3 and 40% attack and defense, which, you know, that's Garlic Jr. So I'm sure you guys all know how amazing that is. And when HP is 30% or less, she gives extreme class allies 60% attack and defense and full recovers their HP. Once only, but I mean, 60% attack and defense for all extreme class enemies, like allies. I mean, that's absurd. And a full heal, like this Towa is very, very good. I feel like she might. Like her and 21 are probably the best units we've seen in the batch so far. Like this Towa is absurd, and the Android 21 is definitely very, very good as well. I think the TEQ Android 16, I've seen people underrating him already, but yeah. Next, we're moving on to this INT Kid Buu Bobbity. He's also a support type unit. So again, if we bring him up over here, he has 11.5k defense is definitely very high. 15k attack is definitely low for an easy unit, but we'll see how he looks like here. Well, I guess I know technically because I did the translations, but yeah. He greatly raises the defense for one turn, which is a 50% raise. He causes supreme damage with a 50% chance to stun. Definitely a pretty good super attack effect again for Super Battle Road. He'll raise his defense and he'll have a chance to stun the enemy. So, like if there's 2 enemies attacking, and he could stun one of them, and then he could just tank the other's attack, you know, that could be interesting for sure if you plan it out that way. He gets 120% attack and defense at the start of turn. When his HP is 81% or more, he gets 100% attack and gives all allies 50% defense, which is a pretty huge buff. Now this is going to be probably the better part, where this is where he's going to get really good right here, I feel like. When HP is 80% or below, he gets an additional 100% defense and gives all allies key 3 and 50% attack. It's so busted. It's like in Super Battle Road and difficult events, you're gonna see this a lot. Even though he recovers 8% HP, that doesn't count as start of turn. Like if you enter the turn at 80%, even if you heal above the 80%, that's still gonna proc this part of his passive. So again, the extra defense is going to be very good for him. I feel like you'd prefer the extra defense because he's just a support type unit. And the key and 50% attack, like, oh my goodness, this INT Kid Buu is a pretty... He's definitely a interesting showcase unit, that's for sure, I feel like. So, I mean, I'm definitely excited to see how this INT Kid Buu is going to look in-game again. I think he's one of the more... greater units in this batch again. A lot of these EZAs are really where it gets good right here. So now we have the TEQ Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks Easy A. So if we take a look at him here, he's very, very bland. He has 16k attack and 11k defense. I'd say those are pretty average, you know, pretty good. He causes supreme damage and raises attack and defense for 6 turns, which is exactly what I wanted, because you have to keep in mind, again, just like the Trunks, this is a 50% attack raise, so this defense raise is going to be 50% for 6 turns. So just like the Goten, Trunks, and Android 18, this guy is going to have that raise. He's going to be looking pretty good, I feel like. He gets 100% attack and defense starter turn. He has an additional attack plus 100% when performing a super attack. And then for each super attack he performs, he gets a key 1 up to 3, and then attack and defense plus 10% up to 30%. So again, this is like a little extra buff. This is going to really be good against this and with this right here. So again, this is pretty good. He has a high chance to perform an additional super attack for 5 turns from first appearance. So this will allow him to build very quickly in short events. And even for long events, he'll be able to build up quickly and then kind of sustain that in the long events. And him triple supering if he turned with this 50% buff, guys, it's going to get crazy with this guy. He's absurd. This Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks is very, very good. We'll move on next to the INT Super Saiyan 3 Gohan. I mean, like, all these units are just so insane. It's great. He has 17.6k attack and 11k defense in total. He causes supreme damage, seals super attack, and raises attack for 9 turns. I wish this was defense for 9 turns, but I mean, it's fine. The sealing is definitely a very, very potent ability. Like, you know, say for Super Battle Roads like Hybrid Saiyans, Goku Family, Super Saiyan 3, like all these 3 teams have Super Battle Road stages that you could use them in. So it's definitely very nice. And I feel like, you know, like the little purple lightning thing that he does, that feels like a stun or seal like type super attack for me. If you guys get one, I don't know if you guys understand, like, you know, you kind of get stunned from this like lightning. I don't know. I'm sure you guys understand what I mean. He gives himself key actually, so it gets key 2 and 120% attack and defense. He gets an additional attack and defense plus 17% when performing a super attack, so gonna be pretty strong right there. He gets an additional 30% attack and defense with 3 more key spheres. He has a 30% chance to crit with 5 or more key spheres and reduces damage received by 30% with 7 or more key spheres. You're rarely going to see the 7 more key spheres, unfortunately. Like, you're not going to see that really too often. On the Heroes team, you'll definitely see it. Actually, I don't know, because Goku's family, you have GT Goku. Crossover and Dragon Ball Heroes, you have the God Trunks. You have... Actually, I'm not going to spoil, but there's another unit in this batch who does Rainbow Orb Change, so... Yeah, and then, you know, Super Saiyan 3 has TEQ Angel, Super Saiyan 3 Goku at the very least. Hybrid Saiyans has the INT Ghost Gotenks. There's no actually no sealer really like prominent like Rainbow Orb Changing for this team, so that's the only thing. But you know, I feel like if you have the Rainbow Orb Changer on the team, which is very likely, especially like in Heroes God Trunks right there, he will get this 30% damage reduction. But even then, it's like if maybe the crit chance is like okay. But this guy's good for sure. I don't think he's as impressive as like say the Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks, but he's definitely very good. Next we do have the AGL Super Saiyan 3 Trunks. So this is something that people are going to be disappointed in this, unfortunately. He's good, but I'll just cut straight to the chase. High chance to guard enemy attacks. I know, it's unfortunate. I'm crying as well, but it is what it is. We're going to have to deal with it. He does raise attack and defense for 9 turns on a super attack, which is pretty good. He has 120% at the start of turn. The stabling enemy guard is pointless. He gets an additional attack plus 30% within the same turn when guard is activated. So that's multiplicative. That's in a separate phase right there. He also gets an additional 12% attack for each attack he receives, and an additional 12% attack for each attack he performs. So this guy is definitely a long-term event unit. When he builds up, I feel like he'll definitely look very, very impressive. Again, it's just unfortunate that the high chance the guard is not there. It kind of makes him less worthy for Super Battle Road. I feel like, guard units are more important in Super Battle Road than, like, long events where they stack up, because their defense are going to get so high anyways. They won't even necessarily need the guard, but it is what it is, though. He's definitely, again, a very, very good unit. Like, this guy, when you build him, like, up, he's going to look very impressive and do pretty nice numbers. I mean, his stats, again, his defense stat is already 13k, so he's going to have very high defense with links like Cold Judgment, for example, His attack is definitely low, so he might not hit the hardest until he really builds up, but yeah. Next, moving on to these brand new hero units. So we're getting near the end, gamers. I know it's definitely been a longer video again, but we definitely I want to cover every single unit here. So we have the STR Supreme Kai time Possessed. That's the Possessed Kai, that one that wasn't shown on the actual Twitter, but we have the information in the data download here. She gets a lot of attack. She leads crossover 120%. She raises defense by 30% for one turn and causes supreme damage, lowers attack and defense. Again, a pretty good super attack effect for Super Battle Road. She has a rare chance to stun all enemies and attack and defense plus 90%. Again, it said, like, the direct translation says low chance. I'm presuming it's like a 20% chance. It could be like 15% chance for all we know. I don't know for sure, but it's not medium. It's a low chance. So that's interesting. We haven't really seen it. Like, there's one unit that does this. She's an SR. It's this SR Supreme Kai time, right? May stun all enemies. I'm presuming this is a 7% chance. I mean, we'll have to see. And like, what if they give her the Jacko and Chaozu ability right here, where they have that rare chance, but the first turn is guaranteed? Imagine! Oh my god, that would be absurd. We won't know until we actually see her in the game, though. But that would be absurd. She gets attack and defense plus 90%. She gets an additional 90% attack and defense when performing a super attack. She has an additional 90% attack when target enemies attack down, an additional 90% attack when their defense down, and then the same when it's sealed or stunned. So, I mean, if all enemies, like, sealed, stun, attack, and defense lower, like, all that together, she's going to be hitting pretty hard numbers even for an SSR. But it's unrealistic to have all those debuffs on one enemy. Her links are Demonic Power, Telekinesis, More Than Meets the Eye, Battlefield Diva, Master Magic, and Godly Power. So she actually works pretty solidly with the TEQ Supreme Kai time. She has Telekinesis, Battlefield Diva, Master Magic, and Godly Power with her. But again, her link set's not really the greatest. She doesn't give herself key. Like, I feel like she's like a niche unit. Like, she's good. She's not bad, but she needs, like, these specific enemies to be like defense, attack lower. She loves her attack herself, but she doesn't really do any additionals to capitalize on that. I feel like her link set's kind of meh. She doesn't give herself key. I want to see how she looks like when she awakens, but you could like poke holes into this unit. I feel like her categories I couldn't fit on the first page. She is Realm of Gods, Patara, Time Travelers, Dragon Ball Heroes crossover, and Corroded Body and Mind. The Corroded Body and Mind buff. She does have More Than Meets the Eye with a TEQ Janemba. Which what does that link give? Is there a way I can bring up TEQ Janemba here? I think through Baby Janemba as well. Which again, Baby Janemba, I found his information in the last one, so I couldn't really translate him at the beginning. We're gonna get to him, but what did More Than Meets the Eye give? 10% attack and defense. Let's go. Okay, but let's continue on. We have the Physical Robel. She gives Dragon Ball Heroes 120%. She raises attack and defense for one turn, causes supreme damage, and steals super attack. Now, this Robel is actually a pretty good unit. She gives 80% attack and defense to herself at the start of turn. She gets an additional 80% attack and defense when attacking. She has an additional 180% attack when the target enemy super attack is sealed. I like this better than like what the Supreme Kai time has going on. Although the Supreme Kai time has more stuff, it feels more consistent because it's only just one status ailment that you have to inflict to the enemy. She changes random type of key sphere to rainbow, so she's a rainbow orb changer. So I mean, she's just good in that regard, being a rainbow orb changer. Again, that's the other unit I was talking about earlier. She has a high chance to evade enemies' attack, which is 50%. And she has a high chance to reveal enemy super attacks if there's another Dragon Ball Heroes category ally attacking in the same turn. This should have been guaranteed, honestly. I don't see the reason like hiding the speed behind high chances, and like Rainbow Orb changing behind high chances, or guard. Like those are like just terrible. I hate when they really hide those units behind the high chances to, like, you know, guard and stuff like that. So that's unfortunate. She has a pretty strong link set though. Brainiac, Solid Support, Cold Judgment, Battlefield Diva, Loyalty, and Master Magic. Again, like, it's a pretty solid link set. It's not the greatest ever, but it's not bad. She has Peppy Gals, Time Travelers, Crossover, and Dragon Ball Heroes. So a low amount of categories, which is really what hurts her. But that's why they give her like Orb Changing and Evasion, and you know, she still has a chance to reveal enemy super attacks. So in these teams, she's going to be a very good run. 2 more units here. The physical free-to-play Demon Goddess Poutine, which is that free-to-play unit that I was talking about earlier, where you know, the free one that you garner from the story events. She raises attack and defense for 1 turn, causes supreme damage with a 30% chance of stun. She gets 120% attack and defense for each crossover category ally attacking. For each crossover category ally excluding this character, she gets an additional 12% attack and defense. She gets 70% attack when the target enemy's super attack is sealed or the enemy stunned. I should have clarified that better, but they're either sealed or they're stunned. She gives crossover category allies key 2 and 30% attack and defense, and she lowers the attacked enemy's attack by 20% and seals. So if she gets an additional, she'll get that 70% attack, which is decent for sure. She's a crossover category support. Like, she's a solid unit on the crossover team. She won't be like the greatest thing ever, but she's solid, and I think her link set's pretty good actually. Solid Support, Cold Judgment, Shocking Speed, Battlefield Diva, Shattering the Limit. Those are all pretty good links. Master of Magic and Demonic Power, not really the best links, but those links are in a lot of units like, you know, God Towa. They're even on Supreme Kai Time, like those type of units. So Master of Magic is actually a pretty common link on that category. I think doesn't Mecha Kabura, doesn't he have that link? So yeah, that's pretty good from there. And finally, we have AGL Baby Janemba's EZA details right here. So if you take a look at him right here, again, he's interesting. He gets attack raised by 1 turn, so it's kind of meh. It's pointless. Like, at least like have him stack attack if you're gonna give him an attack raise. It's kind of meh. And he really lowers defense, so his super attack effect is kind of dead, unfortunately. He does recover 12% HP. He has a 120% attack and defense at the start of turn. He has a 50% chance to evade, so this is pretty similar to what he was previously. This is basically what he was previously, which is good for sure. What are his stats actually? 12k defense and 60k attacking, and that's pretty good. Defense, offense is kind of mediocre, I'd say, you know, for an EZA unit. Actually, it's pretty solid actually. He recovers 12% HP. He gets attack and... Actually, I already covered that. You get an additional 12% chance to evade enemy's attack within the same turn with each attack he evades. So it's the STR Janemba effect where the STR Janemba gets, what, 10% chance? It's 12% chance, so it's better, but it's not like the greatest thing ever. And I also heard this might be a separate pocket entirely, so I don't know. If HP is 60% or more, he gets an additional attack and defense plus 120% when performing a super attack. So again, like with this extra 120%, he's actually going to be pretty good defensively. He has links like, you know, Thirst for Conquest that give defense. I believe Metamorphosis also gives defense, yeah. Shattering the Limit, Shocking Speed. He has a lot of defense from links, so when you get those links active, this guy can be pretty good. But yeah, that's pretty much everything here. It's basically a huge crossover category buff. So many units on this team now that have EZAs and just new units in general. So thank you all for watching, guys, and we'll see you all in the next one. Peace out.